And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the official Trackmania channel for what is set to be a two-part conclusion to the Trackmania games with the mixed duo tournament's last two matches about to begin, starting with the Consolidation final. And unexpectedly, a higher stakes match than at first anticipated, because whoever wins between Team GB1 and Team Germany 1 decides the final standings in the battle for second place in the nation's ranking. It's going to be Letzter and New Prime versus Pack and Josh, and there's going to be a difference of camp there for both of us, but I think we're going to be down to seeing this. No matter however way you slice it, this is going to be one of the key, if not the key match of TM games here in this moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Putting countries aside, I'm hugely excited for this match. It is a replay of a match that we had earlier. I'm not sure if it was on stream or not. Didn't catch it myself, but yeah, Germany won, took down Great Britain 1 in pretty emphatic fashion. For those who don't know who the players are, Germany 1 is Letzter and New Prime. Great Britain 1, we've just seen them on stream. That is Pack and Josh, who was victorious in the full speed tournament, but is pretty handy on the mixed maps as well. So we have our top 6 players, top 3 teams remaining. As you say, it does have ramifications for second place. If this is an all GB final, they will take second. If Germany are victorious once again over Great Britain 1, then France will be locked in on that silver medal place. The grand final will still be a banger no matter what. These players are incredible. We are in the pick and ban phase though. G-Geek, want to take us through this one?
Well, it's going to be an ABC in terms of a map order, starting off with Addiction, starting with the hardest map of the map pack, arguably, for Team GB as their pick. Then Team Germany decide to pick Bourdon from their wine feed, and that leaves us with Cryomass as the decider if we go on to game number 3. And with that, we are soon to get racing once again between Team GB and Team Germany. Both teams, well, Germany locked as the victor of TM games, but right now Team GB looking to actually get a bit higher on the rostrum than what they theoretically have as a backup. Right now they have, if I'm not mistaken, 1,200 points. 1,000 points for, or actually, wait, is it 1,200 or 1,500? No, it's 1,500. Hold on, I think I might have gotten my math is not well, there's minimum 700. Yeah, math is starting to completely go all haywire. Minimum 700 points is guaranteed for boss and net boss, right? Let's just throw that out of the way. And there is the potentiality for that to be promoted to 1,700 points if GB1 make it through. If GB1 lose, they would only have at the minimum 1,200 points, and that would have to enforce a Team GB win in order to be able to actually get that second place on the nation's ranking. So there are still plenty of permutations that are well and truly on the cards. There's so much ramifications going on here. It's very hard to keep tab of everything, so bear with us if sometimes we may get some of our predictions and some of our assumptions wrong. There's just a lot to compute, and sometimes our brain can get a little bit into overload, as we hope that the drivers, be it on either the German side or the British side, will not get overloaded and overheat, because they are just about to head this to stage, and we are about to go racing here with round number 1, map 1, underway right now.
Yep. Here we go. We are getting into this one. Predictions from you, G-Geek. Do you think we get an all-British grand final in the mixed duos, or do you think Germany will repeat what they did earlier and take down this Great Britain team once again?
This is going to be a little bit of a tough call for me if I do say so myself. I'm trying to get myself some help with some of the stats that we can have from our great partners at eCircuitMania.com. Letzter looking very solid over the course of the bracket here on Addiction with a 75.3% average finishing position. 13 out of 27 rounds have been ending in the first place for Letzter, whereas Pack and Josh, 36% first places and 29% first places for the two respectively, 57.8% average percent finishing, 54% average finishing positions for those two drivers. But so far they're looking very racy and looking to actually battle for the lead and try to actually play the stats a little bit for themselves. New Prime hits on the apex of the neon, it's over, and we start off strong with an ace for Team GB1 with a .619 for Pack, 75 milliseconds ahead of Josh, who himself is just 5 mere milliseconds ahead of Letzter. 3-0 for Great Britain, who draws first blood.
Yep, and we saw them take down Switzerland on this map in that previous match. They looked comfortable, they looked confident. We've already lost another German player. New Prime with another crash presents another opportunity for Great Britain. This is their map pick though. This is where you would expect them to be most confident out of any map of the three. But Leicester now is going to try and have to do the business to try and get that draw. Pack full sending on the plastic, getting back into that first place. Josh with a minor mistake dropping back, and New Prime not too far behind, only 9/10 or so. So if Josh continues to compound those errors, then New Prime may be able to find a way back in. Pack holding on at the front, but Leicester is pushing for absolutely everything that he's worth. We saw a 0.6 driven in the previous round. New Prime's PB is a 0.3, and it is neck and neck as we go into the bug slide. Who has the better exit speed? It looks like Pack. It is Pack with another 57.6.
57.619. Once again, low 0.6 being driven by Pack so far. Starting off on a wire, his particular match along with Josh here on the Consolidation final as we go into round number 3. And thank you very much to just another soup like in the chat for the clarification of what is going to be happening. If Germany does get the gold, it will be France into P2. Otherwise, Team GB would be set for second place overall in the nation. So it's not quite decisive match just yet, but it has a lot of implications as we go through sector number 2, checkpoint 5, onto the bank third corner, and then the transition from one bank corner to the next, and then the long double left-hander up the crest towards checkpoint number 7, and one of the Team GB guys seems to have clipped with the right rear. It was Pack, who is leaving half a second on the table. Leicester in the lead. Josh going close to the wall on the way towards checkpoint number 8 in the start of sector 3 with the reactor grass part. As we go on to checkpoint 10, New Prime trying to make a little bit of room here and trying to show his elbows, going elbows out versus Josh. It's all no use, and Leicester drives a 0.528 victory to Germany, who bridged the gap back down to 3 points. Still, one ace's worth of a lead for Team GB.
Yep, 6-3. We are playing to 15 points for a map win, so a bit longer than that normal 10-point format that we're used to seeing from the Trackmania World Tour. But yeah, 0.5 is crazy. That's within 3/10 of world record. So winning times so far have been 2.6s and a 0.5. Pack, however, who drove those 2 winning times in the first 2 rounds, did make the mistake in the previous round. Josh straight into the pole there. That is going to be a big respawn and a big time loss. So it is all on Pack to deny the 2 German drivers. He's with them at the moment on the outside dirt, battling Leicester, but New Prime as well is right behind, waiting to pounce. If that mistake comes through, a German ace here would put them level with Team GB, but Pack is refusing to budge.
Pack refusing to budge, continuing to harass Leicester, continuing to push for all it's worth. But look at the slide from New Prime to get the counter ace for Team Germany. And yet another great time. We're continuing to turn up the heat round after round with a 0.55 for Leicester. Imagine driving a high 0.6 and only coming in second. And even a 0.7, you would drop down in third place. That is mind-boggling pace being put it down to the racetrack right out of the gates right there. And also coming out right out of the gates is a small clip for Josh and Team GB, looking a little bit shaky at the start of this round.
Yeah, Josh, 2 big crashes in 2 consecutive rounds is not what Team GB need right now. Pack is definitely leading the line here, but a mistake from Pack in that previous round as well has cost Team GB. So they got off to a good start, but the Germans are coming right back at them. Leicester in a commanding lead. New Prime in second and getting that outside dirt slightly better than Pack, who is just behind. The exit speed similar for both drivers. Leicester with a slightly inferior drift. Pack is still definitely in the mix here, needs to get this draw, and we talk about Pack as well. Teammates with Carl Jr. for Trackmania World Tour. Can he get the denial of the ace here? No, he can't. It is back-to-back aces for Germany, and it goes from bad to worse for Great Britain on their own map pick.
Yeah, it all started so well right off the rip with that ace in round number 1, but now the tide has shifted and the momentum now with Team Germany, as they still do need 6 points in order to clinch that first map and take away Team GB's map pick as we go on to sector number 1, checkpoint 2 and 3 through the plastic. Better exit from the plastic from Leicester compared to his teammate New Prime, and we're finding both German drivers top and tail of the leaderboard, separated by 70 milliseconds as we go into checkpoint number 5. Leicester still leading, New Prime going toe-to-toe with Josh for the benefit of 3rd position, trying to get 1 extra point in the bank as we go up the crest, up the long left-hander uphill. Everybody clearing it nice and easy. Going to checkpoint number 8, Leicester still leading until he barely clips the apex before checkpoint 8, and now Team GB again able to even the scales potentially, but watch out for New Prime sliding in between the two Team GB boys before seizing the lead for himself before the final slide, and it will be a draw validated by that great final sector from New Prime with yet a .619 again. 3rd time over the course of this opening map that .619 has appeared down to the milliseconds.
Pack is left to battle with New Prime and Leicester here in this round, and for the 3rd round in the map, and Pack's so close to the inside of the apex there, almost clipping it, but just about holding on. Can he get this bug slide? It seems like the Germans are stronger towards the end of the map, but Pack, can he hold on? New Prime has the speed, Pack has the low jump, but New Prime gets into the finish, gets 2 points on the board for Germany compared to just 1 for Great Britain, and they are on track point. An ace here for Germany would seal the deal on Great Britain's map pick.
Man, driving a below .6 isn't even enough for 2nd place. You're down to 3rd. Did you see that? A .548, and then just a handful of milliseconds behind, we found the first Team GB member as we see Pack going very slow at the exit of the plastic, and thus it will be already crunch time for Team GB if they seek to extract 1 more round at the very least here on Addiction. Josh already taking up the reins, picking up the slack, picking up where his teammate left off, currently battling for the lead with New Prime on the way towards checkpoint number 6, going uphill, up the crest, the long left-hander in the dirt. It's still a tightly knit group, 1, 2, 3, separated by 76 milliseconds. Going to checkpoint 8, Josh seizes the lead, tries to pull a little bit of a breakaway run for freedom, but look at Leicester and New Prime. They're absolutely not letting him go. They're continuing to hold him by the coat as we go onto the final slide. Who gets the best snap? Josh versus New Prime at the stripe. Josh wins by 7 milliseconds. New Prime 2nd, Leicester 3rd. It will be yet another draw. Germany in a bit more of a palatable situation. Yes, they could have concluded then, but Josh is opposing a fierce resistance.
Yep, absolutely clutch from Josh to deny that ace there. It seems like Great Britain, it's just 1 player at a time that's driving that .6, but both players from Germany are so consistent and so fast as well. They are just always neck and neck and pushing whoever is in front, whether that be a German player or a player from Great Britain. In this round, it is Josh up front and Pack trailing by just 2.5 tenths as we go through the checkpoints onto the dirt. Josh maintaining that lead by 1/10 of a second as we go through the outside dirt. No player making a mistake here. Josh seems to have cleaned up the mistakes that he made early on in this map and continues to extend that lead. Needs to hold this draw, but Great Britain, they need to start winning some rounds. They need to get an ace in there if they really want to challenge here, because draw after draw with that 4-point deficit is just going to favor Germany. Josh does get into the finish with a .4, a PB for him. Insane round driven there, but 1 point now is all Germany need. It's going to have to be an ace and 2 aces for Great Britain here for them to have any chance to survive in the map.
Ace or bust indeed it is now for Team GB, but Josh throwing down the gauntlet with that .444 in the previous round. It looks as though we already have a bit of an aperture, an aperture that's almost seemingly right away closed after that little touch from Pack. Excuse me, I'm getting all choked up here because this is starting to get really, really antsy now towards the end of that first map. Josh in the lead, 1/10 ahead of New Prime. Leicester in third place. Back and forth. He clips with the right rear. It looks as though it may be all over here on map number 1. Josh looking a little bit shaky, forced to release to avoid hitting the wall on the way towards checkpoint number 8. And now New Prime is there to pick up P number 1 and try to settle this on a 16-11 scoreline. Is it going to be able to pull it off? The answer is a yes, with a 0.61 with an 8.61 milliseconds ahead of Josh. 16-11. The score for Team Germany. Round finished. Map 1 finished, going the way to the Reds. And this is going to be a huge blow for Team GB, especially considering that we move on to Bordeaux, which is Team Germany's pick.
Yeah, so Team GB losing on their own map pick is not a good sign for them. Germany's map pick coming up next. It's not looking good, G-Geek. And they started off that map really strongly. Got into, I believe it was a 6-1 lead, something like that, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, 6-1 lead,
yeah. Just slipped through their fingers, didn't it? So unfortunate for them. But yeah, the Germans, they were much stronger earlier. They dispatched them 2-0 and moved on in that upper bracket. Seeming like we are heading towards that conclusion again, unless we can get the counter serve. You know, Germany have technically broken Great Britain's serve here on their own map. Now GB need to beat Germany on their map pick. It's going to be an uphill battle from here, G-Geek, but I believe in my boys, Pack and Josh. They are quite a unit. We saw Josh set his own PB as well on that map, so clearly he does have some pace, but maybe just struggling slightly on the consistency side.
Yeah, indeed. And as we move on to another map, I'm seeing that Leicester has a bit of a lesser median time, a 55.701 compared to his teammate on a 0.44. Pack is on a 0.52 and Josh on a 0.48. And actually, even though both Leicester and New Prime have the same amount of first place finishes, 14 out of 38 rounds, Leicester has double the amount of last places finishes that New Prime has. So this could actually play a little bit in favor of Team GB, despite Josh having the same amount of last places than Leicester has. Pack is a little bit more consistent, maybe not as winning as Team Germany have been, but this looks to be a little bit more evenly matched up than when we first realized. As we go on to Bordeaux, can Team GB retaliate and take away Germany's pick? We're about to find out.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, this is the map for Leicester and New Prime. They are 1 and 2 on the time attack leaderboards, as we see a massive mistake for Pack there, going for that wallbang. Josh is in third, so I'm expecting Josh to keep the Germans keen here, but Pack in 7th place only set his PB of a 54.96 hours ago. Not sure that this is going to be the map where we're going to see Pack thrive, and aces for Great Britain might be few and far between, but Josh and Leicester is going to be the battle to the line here. Leicester seemed like he had more exit speed out of the outside dirt. We'll see who gets the jump cleaner. It is going to be Josh into the finish first with a 55.2, half a second behind Leicester's world record of a 0.735, and a draw despite that mistake from Pack early in the map.
Yeah, this is where we're going to be starting maybe to see that sort of trend where Team GB might be able to hold themselves in a little bit longer into this fight. As we go into round number 2, the whole shot will be for Josh, who will lead into that 90-degree right-hander that was so close to hitting the outside wall as well on the part of the man from Team GB. We are opting for the top 3 to go with the wallbang strat. Pack does not opt for that wallbang strat, goes for the conventional approach with the drift setup, and thus we'll see, well, everybody's still remaining somewhat committed to their positions until we go onto the wood, which allows Pack to move up into P3 provisionally ahead of Leicester. Josh pulling a gap of almost a quarter of a second to the rest of the opposition, including his own teammates, as we go onto checkpoint number 7, the start of sector number 3. This could be a very, very stout round in the making. Could be going into the 54s. Judging by the gaps, we'll have to wait and see what it is like as we go towards the finish line. We don't hit the outside wall with the right rear at all on either side of the pond, and it will be a low 55.068. The 54s are getting very, very close, but Josh looking to already assert dominance individually and help his team, as a matter of fact, who take the ace with the snipe from Pack as well.
Yeah, there was a mistake from New Prime there, and Pack kept himself in it in as much to get that snipe on the second place. So a huge ace for Great Britain. Josh looks to be supreme on this map, I have to say. Into first place in the last 2 rounds. Is trailing Leicester a little bit here, but further back is New Prime. So right now we are looking at a draw between Germany and Great Britain, but Pack and Josh on a similar pace here. Pack has been trailing slightly the past 2 rounds, but putting in a stronger round here. Is the Britain. They are chasing down Leicester, though, who needs to hold on for the sake of Germany. Josh, with a little bit of a slowdown, is going to be overtaken by New Prime. Never mind, New Prime into the wall, but Leicester holding on. Can he secure the draw for Germany as we go into the finish once again? Yes, he can. 54.895. What was this man having for breakfast this morning, Cheeky? That is a crazy time.
And New Prime is probably going to be kicking himself seeing that time, because he was like, oh man, that I could have tried to keep up pace and we could have bridged the gap there. Sorry for if I'm stammering a little bit there, here and there. It feels like I did not hydrate before this match, and this was a very, very big mistake. Make sure to hydrate, kids. Drink water. It's very, very important. Even if you're not talking and shouting all the way through the day, as we are doing here in the Trackmania games. In the meantime, on to the next round. New Prime goes a bit wide before the wood, allowing Leicester to move up into the provisional lead. Pack also making a very interesting mix in 1, 2, 3. Josh completely out of the running. This is an opportunity that has now presented itself for Team Germany to try and climb that back that gap that is currently of 3 points. An ace's worth of points right now could be whittled down to 2, or maybe wiped completely clean. And it looks as though the latter is about to happen with that huge crash from Pack on the way towards checkpoint number 9. Leicester in the lead, New Prime in second. Leicester will cross the line with a .364, and with that, Germany is back in the game, 5-5.
Oh, that one hurts. That one hurts just a little bit. You know, I've got to be unbiased. I'm casting a match between 2 absolutely insane teams, but that one hurt. That feels a bit better. I feel better now. I'm all good.
I'm not good. I'm gonna be real with you. I am not good. Anyway, yeah, that was a very unfortunate touch of the... That was the first checkpoint, or slightly after the first checkpoint for New Prime, which is going to be relegating him down to last place. And Leicester currently in the lead, trying to pick up the slack and actually validate the draw to see Germany continue to go toe-to-toe with Great Britain as we move in Sector 3, and Josh and Pack trying to regroup, trying to tandem this together, although we see Josh with a great inside line to move ahead provisionally of Leicester, but both are still locked within each other's ghost as we go to checkpoint number 9. The grass road towards the dirt. Left-hander going so close to the outside wall with the right rear from Leicester. Is it going to be enough to keep the lead afloat? The answer is a yes by a 10th and a half, and a huge mistake and a respawn, in fact, from Josh will promote New Prime up into 3rd, and with that, Germany takes the lead on their own map, 7-6.
It's not looking good. They don't have the momentum behind them, do Great Britain. Meanwhile, Germany are just continuing to pile on the pressure. We said it in the map before that both players look equally fast and consistent, but Great Britain is just either one or the other player is able to clutch up and get that win, or just maintain that 2nd place. So right now, I would say the momentum is firmly behind Germany. The odds are definitely starting to shift in their favor. Leicester has been the stronger of the 2, you have to say, driving those insane times, but we see a very close round here. New Prime and Josh with exactly the same mistake, so it is now a race of 2 pairs. Pack with a clip, though, paving the way for Leicester. Josh comes through with the speed. How far back is New Prime? We'll have a look through the last couple of checkpoints. It's Leicester in first. It's Josh in second. Denies the ace, but once again, a victory in the round for Germany puts them even further ahead of Great Britain and even closer to getting to that grand final.
I'll tell you what, though, that battle between New Prime and Josh was going very, very close before the final checkpoint. They were separated by mere milliseconds before the jump into the reactor finish, but Josh was able to pull it out this time and be able to prevent the ace from being scored by Team Germany as we go on to the next round. 9-7 for Leicester and New Prime currently leading by 2 points from Pack and Josh. Currently, Leicester in the lead just before the Wood, who gets the best exit. Leicester continues to hold the lead, but New Prime stands to benefit as well with that second place. He will be locked in battle with Josh for the benefit of said second place. Pack through the chicanes, onto the dirt, taking a little bit of bumps inside and outside as we go up the long left-hander. Oh, we go too close to the apex there for Leicester, and he will drop down like a stone from first to fourth. Josh sounding the charge against New Prime for the provisional lead of this round. We touch the outside wall with the right rear for Pack. Leicester promoted back up to third. New Prime versus Josh at the stripe. It will be Josh with a .037. It will be a draw enforced. That will be favorable for Team Germany as they pass the double-digit mark, 10-8.
Small mistakes, but huge ramifications. That tiny touch from Pack there took GB from a victory to just a draw. It is 10-8 in favor of Germany. 5 points remaining to take the map, take the match, and go through to that grand final, and also lock in second place for France. GB have their backs against the wall here, but they have started this round off strongly. There is a mistake coming through from Leicester and New Prime, and Josh and Pack are leading up front. They have a gap of 0.3. An ace here would put them in the lead in the map by only 1 point at 11-10. Just need to hold on here and see it through, but Leicester is pushing behind them. Any mistake would be extremely costly. Let's see if they get into the finish. Pack failed the outside dirt before. Just one more jump to go. They both get it cleanly, and it is an ace. The first ace in this map for Team GB.
And the retaliation happens at the opportune time for Team GB, who have been on the back foot ever since the first few rounds that have happened on this map. Well, the first few maps, they were able to get the lead before the slate had been wiped completely clean by Team Germany. But it looks as though this is getting dangerously close to a map 3 situation there for New Prime and Leicester after that humongous clip at the start from Leicester, relegating him to 4th place, 3.3 seconds down. It will be all down to New Prime to hold the fort for Team Germany and try to stem the flow of points going the way of the blue side as we go through sector number 2 on the way towards the Sausage Road. And then the little chicane there from the perspective of Pack. It's very easy to go a little bit too far inside and take too many bumps that will slow you down dramatically as we go into sector number 3 through the long left-hander. It will be New Prime and Josh locked in battle for the lead. Pack a bit too far back in 3rd place, 2 tenths down. Josh sounding the charge in the penultimate corner before the risky finish as we see New Prime going side by side. Who gets the best reactor? It will be Josh with a .114. Pack will be still locked in 3rd, and it will be a victory for Team GB that puts them on the verge of enforcing Game 3 in these Consolidation Finals.
Yeah, that was an absolute gift from Leicester there, and Team GB capitalizing on the mistake from the German driver. It's another slow start. Oh, I thought it was a slow start for Leicester. Looked like he was going a bit too sideways, but has managed to catch up and is even in the lead in this round as we go into the first important drift. Takes that much wider, does Leicester. Carries a lot of speed out of it. And Pack going for that traditional drift. Josh has come a cropper. It's Team Germany in 1st and 2nd. Pack is going to overtake briefly, but Leicester comes back with more speed. Pack with the earlier landing, though. It's chopping and changing all the time. Josh is a bit too far back to have any impact in this round. It's New Prime up front, Pack in 2nd place. If New Prime makes a mistake, it would be the map done and dusted for GB, so New Prime needs to hold on here. Leicester just behind. This would put the scores at 14-12. Pack into 1st place with the snipe at the end. Gets the draw, and now all Team GB need is 1 point, but Germany crucially need 3. An ace from Germany here would be curtains, and they would be heading to that grand final. G-Geek,
I wonder what the words New Prime might be saying to Leicester. I have a little bit of an idea, and in the language of the Germans, he might be saying, "Reinlocken, Junge, wir schaffen das." In the meantime, we go through sector number 1. It will be New Prime in the lead. Josh in 2nd. Leicester in P3. Germany is in an ace or bust situation. Josh taking the lead in the plastic before jumping onto checkpoint number 6. Josh, New Prime, Leicester, 1, 2, 3. Locked in by 80 milliseconds. 1st through 3rd. Pack a little bit too far back as an independent adjudicator. In P4, we should circle back to the top 3 because it's still all close, too close to call. Josh, New Prime, Leicester, still 1, 2, 3. Who's gonna crack? Who's gonna yield? New Prime yields. We go on to game number 3 with Team GB scoring a 16-13 scoreline and Josh with a .984.
The lads did it. They've only gone and done it. They take us to a map 3. I didn't think that was going to happen. Germany looked like they had that in the bag, but my word, did Team GB come back out?
Can we do a hand check? Can we do? Can you do a hand check, Orion? Because I mean, I'm
good. Full belief. Full trust.
Well, it's not because of the implications of the championship. It's only because I poured everything in there, and well, I'll let you take over because I saw a bit of a hydration hydrat, and I'm gonna do it on camera just to prove that I'm not actually skimping on that. Cheers.
Yeah,
and make sure to hydrate everyone. It's important.
Get some fluid in you, man. I can feel my voice is going as well, but. This will be my last match of the day, so I can afford to give everything when the hype comes. You maybe got to save yourself just a little bit for that grand final, but who is going to make it there is the question now. We are on to a third deciding map. Germany winning on Team GB's map pick. Team GB winning on Germany's. This map has flip-flopped, turned on its head. Do you still think Germany go through here, G-Geek? We've got a different scoreline to what happened earlier. It's now 1 apiece, so it will be 2-1, but in favor of who?
This is tough. This is tough. I'm trying to look at the stats, but the stats maybe won't matter at this point. Leicester and Josh, somewhat similar average finishing position. Advantage to Leicester, 68.9%. Average finishing position to 61.1% for Josh. Over 30 rounds played by Leicester, half he has won. 15 round wins out of 30. Josh with 19 round wins out of 48 yields a lower percentage, but he still has a shot. He's a 58.035 median versus a 57.935 median for Leicester. And with that, LaFail is let loose, and we are racing for one final map here in this Consolidation final.
I will say, on paper, New Prime has the best time here of a 57.548. Josh, less than 7 thousandths behind on a 57.555. Leicester, 57.625. Pack, I had to scroll down a bit on Trackmania IO. He is a 57.818. So Pack potentially does not have the pace of the other 3 on this map, which is going to present a very difficult challenge for Team GB if the others are able to consistently drive that much quicker.
Leicester in the lead. New Prime managing to come back nice and clean through that long dirt right-hander downhill, but Josh looking to go for the full inside snipe. It does not work out. He enters a little bit too wide. 57.842 for Leicester. New Prime in second place with 73 milliseconds. 3-0 for Team Germany, who dish out the first ace of the map. 1 down, 4 potentially to go.
1 round down. Germany get the ace in that first round, as you say. We'll have to see how they play out, but it definitely looked like New Prime and Leicester were the stronger duo in round 1. Once again, we see Pack after that ice slide dropping back just a little bit. It's only a 10th, but that gap definitely extended as we went through the rest of the map, and there is a mistake from Pack, clipping the pole on the outside, and it's all up to Josh once again to deny the ace from Germany. Wasn't able to do it in the previous round, has another go at it here, but yeah, overall, this map so far is not looking great for Team GB. They would definitely need to get an ace or 2 of their own here to try and stake their claim on the match. And with Pack seeming to not have the pace and making a mistake in round 2 here, does not look to be the most likely outcome. Very close finish from Josh and New Prime, 57.8 within 3.5 tenths of the world record there, or 4 tenths of the world record there, I should say. Insane times being driven, but Germany into a commanding 5-1 lead, already a third of the way to victory in this map and ultimately in the match.
Yeah, and both New Prime and Josh were locked together through the whole of the third sector up until the finish line with just a few milliseconds splitting them apart. And the nightmare continues for Pack and Josh, as this time it is going to be Josh falling by the wayside, but maybe the healing will be starting with New Prime clipping in the island on checkpoint number 5, promoting Pack up to second place. Leicester promoted to a somewhat sizable lead at this stage of the map anyway, by a 10th and a half, going into Sector 3 with the ice slide. Who gets the best snap? Who gets the best speed? It will be Pack with a great setup for the double right-hander before checkpoint 11, and look at how much he's gained back up. It's B4 boost here for Pack, trying to actually make a move happen in the final corner. Is it enough? He goes for the move, goes for the throat. It's not enough by 13 milliseconds, and it will be the victory for Team Germany, who continue to sprint away into the distance. 7-2 the score after this round.
Yeah, that's only a 10th behind Pack's PB, though. That feels like his ultimate pace, but we know that Leicester and New Prime can drive faster, so a much better round from Pack there, but he's going to have to pull that out round after round to beat this dominant German team on this map. 7-2. It's not looking good. Josh makes a mistake in exactly the same spot, and it's all down to Pack once again to try and deny the ace. Currently in third place, New Prime with a 10th and a half lead. Leicester with a 10th advantage over Pack. He's going to have to send it for all it's worth, going so close to those apexes on the drifts. See if he can maintain it. Gets the speed advantage over Leicester. Gets that overtake done on the ice. Full inside. Has to beat New Prime as well. New Prime with a mistake. Pack into the lead, and it's 0.2, 0.3. Pack just needs to hold on here to secure the draw for GB round the last couple of turns. If he makes any mistake here, it would be an ace. Gets into the finish cleanly. Job done for Pack there. Bails his teammate out.
He bails his teammate Hal, but I think there might be at least 2 bailouts left in it for Team GB at this rate, because the gap still looks gargantuan. A 5-point deficit to climb back. 8-5. We're barely halfway through the map. Still, anything is possible. Anything can happen in Trackmania, and usually does, as we so often say around here. But right now, Germany not looking too hot, with New Prime having a very, very shocking start, to say the least, with a half a second gap to climb back up, and the first opportunity is right there with that little clip in the island inside of checkpoint 5 from Pack, just like New Prime had a couple of rounds ago. Josh promoted into the lead with Leicester in second, and New Prime up into third place, courtesy of the trials and tribulations of Pack. Right now, Team GB looking to enforce a draw with Josh. 2/10 clear of Leicester. Make that a quarter of a second now. Heading into sector number 3. Will be very interesting to see what the stopwatch says here, courtesy of Josh. Leicester has to push. He goes for a bit more exit speed at the exit of checkpoints 11 through 12. Is it going to be enough? Unlikely, as Josh scores the draw for Team GB. Pack down to 4th. That's another bailout. 2 bailouts back to back. There's going to be probably one last bailout in there, Ryan, before we can go into the point of the return.
Yeah, Josh returning the favor there. Crash in the previous round, and Pack securing that draw. Then the roles were reversed in the next one, but for Great Britain, draws aren't enough right now. Germany sitting on 9 points, just 6 away from map and match victory. So it's going to need a couple of aces, or an ace and a victory or 2 from Great Britain if they really want to start to put the pressure on. But draw after draw is not going to benefit. And another mistake from Josh there. Just one back wheel on the outside dirt was enough to send him tumbling down the order all the way back down 5/10, and it's up to Pack once more. Great Britain are just fighting for these draws, but sooner or later one of them is going to come a cropper. Pack with not the best drift there, has to full send the inside and compromises his exit. It is New Prime and Leicester. Ace formation for the Germans would put them on 12 points, would put them on track point, does put them on track point with a 57-8, and Pack, try as he might, Great Britain try as they might, cannot continue to bail each other out. Germany into a commanding match lead, 12-4. Writing feels like it's on the wall, G-Geek. I don't see that there's a way back from this.
This is the point of no return that we've mentioned at the start of the previous round. One ace is all it takes for Team Germany to book their spot in the grand final, and for Leicester and New Prime to avenge their main big colleagues, Massa and Granati, who fell earlier on in the tournament as we go up the crest in checkpoint number 6. Leicester, New Prime 1 and 2, but Josh is trying to keep him on ice, trying to push them for all they're worth as we go into checkpoint 8, the way up the left-hander. Leicester, New Prime, Josh 1, 2, 3 still, heading to checkpoint 9, and the ice slide. Pack with a good ice slide, tries to catch up to his teammate. Checkpoints 10 and 11, it's still Germany leading, but for how long? Look at the push that Josh and Pack try to put on through as we go through to the final few corners. Josh going for the throw, going for the lead at the stripe. It's enough for Great Britain to survive another round by 3 milliseconds and a victory that allows to climb 1 point back. But now they have to put it all on the track. Aces or nothing. All or nothing. Checkers or wreckers.
What have we just witnessed? 4 players within 200ths of a second. Leicester crashes in the next round. It's Pack and Josh up against New Prime Germany on 13 points, just 2 away from match victory. An ace here is what Great Britain needs, but they're not going to get it as Josh clips the outside. Pack into the lead. It could be a victory for Great Britain, but that puts Germany perilously close to victory. Would put them onto 14 points if this round finishes in the order it's in. Pack with a little slip up, a little slide off the ice, somehow keeps control of the car, somehow is still in first place over New Prime. Last couple of turns, it looks like it's going to be victory for Great Britain in the round. They stem the bleeding. But for how long, G-Geek? All Germany need is 1 point. It has to be back to back to back aces for Great Britain.
Ace or bust times 3. The tension is palpable. Still a 6 points deficit to climb back up. And in case of 2 aces and a draw, we could go into overtime as well on game number 3. This could be very much a scenario on the cards, but it all now depends on whether Great Britain is able to keep it together and stick together in those trying times. As we go into checkpoint number 6, Josh holding the lead, New Prime and Leicester playing the format, playing it safe, holding second and third, which would be more than just enough to actually get themselves into the grand final. Going on to maps number 8, checkpoint 9, Josh, New Prime, Leicester, 1, 2, 3 still, Pack a bit too far behind, looking to mount a comeback in the third and final sector. Leicester hitting the wall, or rather New Prime hitting the wall. Leicester under threat with a great outside dirt line from Pack. Can he try to pull it off? One final corner, one final set towards the finish line. It's just enough by 1/100th of a second. We slash the gap from 6 to 3 for Team GB. 1 down, 1 to go before the board is wiped clean.
Dude, I want to kiss that man. Like, what? How? He was so far behind and then just fully sends. Beats him by 100th. New Prime with a crash. One more ace for Team GB. Could decide it. Josh is driving superbly now as well. Had a couple of mistakes in the first half of the map, but since then has been absolutely faultless. Out in front again, Pack. It's the same as the last round, chasing down Leicester and New Prime. The pressure is mounting for all of these players. The Germans just need 1 point here to take the match, but Pack is doing everything that he can to get in front as we go into the ice, potentially for one final time, but it's Pack and Josh in ace formation again. Who gets the drift better? Pack and Josh. Outside dirt, they're just in front. Better exit for the British team as well. Leicester is trying to play spoil sport. New Prime with a crash. It looks like Leicester's going to do it for Team Germany. Gets the draw, gets the win. And despite the pressure from Team GB, Germany stand tall and advance to the Trackmania Games Mixed Duos Grand Final.
I gotta say, it looked a little bit hot there for a minute with those denies and that potential comeback that was starting to gel so well. Like, even though,
so
for my sake, I wanted to avoid a 1-2 for Team GB. Just in the back of my head, I'm like, please give us a spectacle, please give us a cinema. We didn't get quite the full cinema, but my God, that unfinished movie was just blockbuster material right there, Orion. I think you can agree with that.
Absolutely. My voice has gone. My head is mush. Let's bring back in Twiggy and Turbo. Twiggy, I'm going to come to you first on that. Yeah, I know.
You and me,
like,
Twiggy.
I think
You and me.
everyone was feeling that, right? That was an absolutely insane lower bracket final, and we're still not done, right?
Yeah, there was a moment there where I was like, oh my god, it's happening. Team GB, they have a chance here. And Team GB, in the overall, in the grand scheme of things, still do have a chance. Funnily enough, first and third is just about enough to get second place overall by 62 points, I think, or 68, somewhere around there. If they get first in the grand finals against this Germany team, which I'm sure are fired up now. Yeah, exactly. Then it's possible, right? But that is insane. Turbo, before I head to a break here, what are your thoughts on that?
Dude, what were those rounds? Like, the momentum was really going into the favor of Great Britain there, but like, oh my god, that one round, I think that was round of the year material. Everybody like in between, like it was like an ace for Germany, and then it was a victory for Great Britain in the end. That was incredible. Like, what a match have we witnessed here, and I hope that this is just an outlook for the grand final that we still have up for grabs.
Right. I mean, look, we're going to go to a break now. We are back with our final game of the Trackmania games, the grand finals of mixed duos. And not only is it the final game of the Trackmania games, but it is a game to decide second place in the Trackmania games. Germany have locked in their place as the winners. Can they be the winners of the grand finals of mixed duos as well? Or are they going to let Team GB into second place overall over France after the hard work that France have done for the rest of the day today? It's all to play for here for these two teams, and we're going to find out very shortly. We're going to go to a break. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.